How's it going, YouTube? Chris here, Home Theater. Got a brand new video for you today. Well, today we're going to do our first movie review of 2025. And what better movie to start out 2025 than David Fincher's Seven? Been waiting on this movie for a very long time. When I heard it was coming out, I pre-ordered it. I didn't pre-order it day one, but when it was around the 1st of November when I pre-ordered it. And of course, I pre-ordered the Steelbook, and I still have not got the Steelbook. So when I realized that the Steelbook at Walmart was just sitting there and it wasn't moving and all, and it's still sitting there, I ordered this one from Walmart, and this is the weird looking kind of cover. It folds out. I think it's magnetized because it looks like it sticks together, but it's pretty cool. Digital codes just fell out, which I'm glad, but it's got a pretty cool cover. It's got the Blu-ray and the 4K. I'll pick up the digital code here shortly. But just got it in today, and I just got done watching it. So I want to give you my thoughts on the transfer. Now, I've watched another review on it earlier this week, I think. But I do know the audio was in 7.1, and they downgraded it to 5.1. But honestly, guys, that don't even bother me. I upmix all my movies. I'm not one of these kind of people that's like, well, I'm just going to watch it in what it's supposed to be in. Some people may want to do that. I mean, if you want to do it like that, that's fine. I upmix all my movies. Okay, that's how I listen to it, and you can get a good effect you can get a good idea how good the soundtrack is. So whether, if it's a 7.1, obviously it might be a little better. But and I know I'm kind of jumping into audio first, so we'll go with audio first. I didn't see any problems with this mix. Do I wish it was 7.1? I wish they would have kept it like that instead of downgraded. Now, they did the exact same thing with World War Z. They downgraded it from 7.1 to 5.1 for the 4K, but honestly, it still sounded good. And I mean, can you do a side-by-side comparison? I did not do that. I can. If some of you want me to do a side-by-side comparison to see, hey, does this soundtrack sound better than this, even though I'm up mixing it, the DTSX, Neural X, I can do that. I did not run that test tonight. We're having a kind of a winter storm here, some freezing rain, sleet. We ain't got no snow, but there was some sleet been on the ground. I don't know how long we're gonna have power, so I wasn't going to try to do a whole lot of testing like that tonight. So I did just watch the movie in DTS Neural X, and honestly, I've got a great. I mean, I enjoyed the soundtrack. Okay, I enjoyed the soundtrack. I didn't see any issues with it. Man, dialogue was just crystal clear. I felt like it had a wide sound stage with the Anthem. The Anthem just nailed the soundtrack on how good it sounded. I got all kind of surround effects. Of course, with the Neural X, it upmixed. I got a lot of overhead effects, especially when they're as they're driving around in the cars and through the city, and all the ambient sounds and sirens and people and cars and helicopters flying and all this stuff. I got a lot of effects, guys, and it's just, it's upmixed. It's not a, Dolby Atmos track or DTSX track, so it's not the, object-based tracks, but it's, upmixed to that. So I felt like it was good for what we got, and I didn't have any issues with the soundtrack, even though it was just, a DTS 5.1, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. The few little scenes had a little rumble and some music. The music score, man, it played and it sounded good. I mean, I have 6 height speakers. I don't know how many of them was playing. I don't, I mean, it's to me, it's no big deal. I just know I'm getting overhead effects just because I'm up mixing. Now, I did, tried to see if I was getting anything from my front wides. Don't think I got anything from those, but you know, everything else, all the other speakers were playing. The subs were, you know, playing when they needed to be. You know, just not a lot of action type stuff in this movie. Some gunshots and music score and stuff like that. But I found the soundtrack was really good. I enjoyed it. I don't have any issues with it. Some of you may, some other reviewers may. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I felt like I was in a movie theater watching this movie. And I've seen this movie several times. I love this movie. I mean, through the years and in my other theater, in my living room. I mean, if it comes on streaming, I'll turn it on. I have it on Blu-ray, and I just, I just think it sounded tremendous. Okay, that's look. Everybody's got an opinion. That's my opinion on this. I loved it. I thought the soundtrack sounded good. Do I wish they'd have did a 7.1? I wish they'd have done a Atmos track or DTS X track. But that's neither here or there. We got what we got. I enjoyed it. Okay. Now let's move on to the picture. I think they did a really good job at the picture on this. I saw lots more detail, a lot more, just the picture, just, you know, a little bit more crisp, a little bit more clear. The colors seemed really good to me. There's a lot of, you know, dark stuff at times in this movie, and I didn't see any issues with the darks. I mean, everything to me blended well on the picture. Uh, I think this transfer is really good. It's better than the Blu-ray. I like it better. I just, you know, if you do a side-by-side comparison, which a lot of times, I mean, I work a lot. I'm off the weekend, thank God. But I work, you know, anywhere from, you know, 10, 12 hours a day, most times 7 days a week. I don't have a lot of time for testing, you know, back to back. That takes a lot of time. If, you know, later on, things maybe I can do more of that. And maybe I can do some testing the weekend if y'all want to, and y'all chime in and want me to do a head-to-head with the Blu-ray and the 4K. I got time the weekend to do it, but I wanted to get my review out because it's fresh on my mind. It just got over with. Told my fiance, I said I'm going to do a review on this. And man, I just absolutely love this. I love 4K. I love what they've done with it. To me, this is the absolute best way to watch it. I still want my steelbook to come in. I don't like this. I don't like this cover. I didn't realize that's what it was going to be, but they got some kind of magnets in here to hold it together. I mean, it wants to look. It just wants to stick together, and it won't open up. But I don't like these slip covers. When I was getting the disc out, it was hard to get out, and I actually started watching it. Started freezing up. Of course, there were fingerprints on it. I didn't look at it before I put it in there, but it's absolutely a nightmare getting these discs out of these things, and I'm just not a fan of it. It looks cool, but it, you know, if they're gonna do something like this, why don't they just open them up and, you know, have the disc right here pressed down like Godzilla -1, like the some of the Diamond Lux editions. Don't quit doing this little crappy stuff here. I don't like it. You wear a disc out. I got a bunch of movies just made like this, and I don't like the jacket. So if you could get, I don't know if they offer another version. I thought they did, and I thought I might have bought the other version. This came in, I bought through Walmart. It came in through, it sold from Groove through Walmart. Walmart sells for Groove, I guess. So I did not order this directly from Groove, but I do not like this. I'd rather have the regular, you know, snap case, I guess, than this. It looks cool. Not a fan of it. I, honestly, I thought it was a steel book. I said, well, that's a mighty thin steel book. But then when I pulled it out, I realized what it was. Anyway, I'm rambling about the jacket, the case, the cover. I'm just not a fan of it. But I am a very big fan of this movie, and I think they did a good job on the transfer. Even though they backed up on the sound, up mix it, I honestly don't believe you'll tell the difference if you up mix it. Now, if you're one of these purists well, it's in 5.1 and I'm listening to 5.1, or it's a 7.1 and I'm listening to 7.1. I mean, that's your prerogative. That's how you want to do it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, me as a home theater guy, I got a 9.4.6, and I'm going to upmix that bad boy. I'm gonna get everything I got my money invested in. I'm going to try to get sound out of it if I can. But I do enjoy it. If you're a fan of David Fincher, which I think most of us are, you won't be disappointed. I'm not, and I don't think you will be either. This is a great transfer. Now we need Fight Club. Now we need the game. Trying to remember what else he's got out we need. But those would satisfy me if I could get Fight Club and the game. I love the game. That movie messed me up when I first saw it. I was like, what in the world? And I was like, that's just crazy. He's got these little twists in his movies, and I really like that. It's kind of like Night Shyamalan. It's always got the little twist at the end. It's like completely throws you off. I like that about David Fincher. So hopefully we'll get the rest of his movies, and I hope they'll do a good job on the transfer. But if they have a 7.1 soundtrack, do stay true to it, even though it does sound good. But if they can give us more, I'll take more. But I'm not disappointed in the soundtrack for this. Now it was a disappointment on World War Z, but it still sounded good. I mean, guys, when they do this, and I'm saying that word some more, and it's fine. But you know, it still, to me, it still sounds good when you upmix it. You know, if they're not going to give us an Atmos track, you know, I wish they just stay true to the upgraded track. Just stay true to it. Now, if they ever bring, I'm going off on a tangent again. If they ever bring Need for Speed to 4K, if they're not going to give us a DTSX soundtrack or Atmos track, they better not mess with that track. That is an aggressive DTS HD Master 7.1 track that I've ever heard in my life. And I think it's wonderful, just the way it is. So if they're not going to do anything, just leave it alone. And but I'm probably talking out both sides of my mouth when I say that, because they did mess with this track, but it still sounds good. And I maybe I will do a side by side comparison to satisfy myself, just to see if it's any different. But I enjoyed this. I'm not disappointed. Like I say, I bought the Steelbook. I'm waiting on it to ever get shipped and come in. Bought this, so I'm about 60 something bucks deep into 7. I really like it. So that is my video. We're gonna have more movies coming for review. So my throat's getting a little dry. So we'll end this video. So y'all have a good night. We'll see you again next video.